What if, without warning, every molecule of oxygen on Earth vanished? Not slowly. Not gradually. Not long enough for alarms to sound or people to react. Just 5 seconds. 5 seconds without the element that makes fire burn, engines run, concrete hold together, and life exist. No countdown, no explanation. One moment you're breathing, and the next oxygen is simply gone. This wouldn't be a distant apocalypse or a slow extinction event. It would be an instant, violent interruption of reality itself. A planetary glitch, brief, impossible, and devastating. And the most terrifying part isn't what happens during those 5 seconds. It's what happens after oxygen comes back. The moment oxygen disappears, Earth's atmosphere loses 21% of its volume instantly. That isn't just missing air, it's a sudden collapse in pressure across the entire planet. Your ears wouldn't just pop. They would experience an explosive pressure change stronger than any airplane ascent. Windows would shatter everywhere. Windshields would burst outward. Buildings would creak and flex under forces they were never designed to handle. The sky itself would change color. With oxygen gone, the scattering of light shifts. The blue sky would darken unnaturally, as if night arrived in the middle of the day. At the same time, sound would vanish. Oxygen carries sound waves. Without it, the world would fall into an eerie, absolute silence, broken only by the cracking of structures and the sudden destruction unfolding everywhere at once. Every combustion engine on Earth would fail instantly. Cars would lose power mid-drive. Highways would turn into chaos as vehicles coast unpredictably. Trains would grind to a halt. Ships would lose propulsion. Backup generators, useless. Jet engines would flame out in midair. Thousands of planes fly at any given moment. Without oxygen, their turbines cannot burn fuel. Pilots would have seconds to react as aircraft become massive gliders, descending uncontrollably. Power plants that rely on combustion would shut down immediately. The electrical grid would fracture in seconds. Cities would go dark, not from blackout procedures, but from total system collapse. In just 1 second, human civilization loses control of its machines. Here's the part most people get wrong. You would not suffocate in 5 seconds. But you would feel something far stranger and far worse. Without atmospheric oxygen pressure, the boiling point of liquids in your body drops dramatically. Moisture on your tongue, in your eyes, and in your lungs would begin to boil, not from heat, but from pressure loss. Your lungs would struggle violently, not because there's no air, but because the pressure that keeps gases dissolved in your blood is gone. Vision would blur. Dizziness would hit instantly. Some people would lose consciousness within seconds. Anyone already at high altitude, underwater, or with respiratory conditions would be at extreme risk. You wouldn't be dying yet, but your body would know something is catastrophically wrong. Oxygen is part of every water molecule. Remove it and water becomes chemically unstable. The oceans wouldn't disappear, but the sudden disruption would release enormous energy. Surface water would partially vaporize. Massive pressure waves would ripple through the seas. These waves wouldn't look like normal tsunamis. They would be chaotic, planet-scale surges racing toward coastlines. Entire coastal regions would be flooded or reshaped. Ports, islands, and low-lying cities would be devastated in seconds. Beneath the surface, marine life would be thrown into violent turbulence. Many species crushed or displaced instantly. The oceans would survive. They would never look the same again. Here's something few people realize. Oxygen is critical to concrete's chemical structure. Remove it and concrete loses strength almost instantly. Bridges would fracture, skyscrapers would develop deep structural cracks, dams would weaken, foundations would fail. Not all buildings would collapse immediately, but many would be permanently compromised in just 5 seconds. Steel structures would survive better, but even they rely on oxygen-based reactions during stress distribution. Cities wouldn't fall all at once. They would become unstable, ticking time bombs waiting to collapse later. The most dangerous moment, oxygen returns 16:7:30. Then after 5 seconds, oxygen snaps back into existence. And that's when hell truly begins. Every overheated engine, every exposed fuel source, every damaged electrical system suddenly meets oxygen again. Global firestorms erupt almost simultaneously. Cities ignite. Industrial zones explode. Forests burst into flame. Oil refineries detonate. Sparks that were harmless seconds ago become ignition points for worldwide infernos. Electrical grids surge uncontrollably. Transformers explode. Power lines melt. Emergency systems fail all at once. This isn't one disaster. It's millions, it's all happening at the same time. In the hours following the event, confusion reigns. Air travel is gone. Ports are destroyed. Roads are blocked. Communication networks are fragmented. Emergency services are overwhelmed beyond function. Hospitals operate on limited power, if at all. Supply chains break instantly. Food deliveries stop. Fuel distribution collapses. No government on Earth is prepared for a disaster that happens everywhere at once. Order doesn't disappear overnight, but it begins to crack. In the days that follow, the scale of damage becomes clear. Millions are displaced. Infrastructure takes years and not months to repair. Some cities are abandoned entirely. Global trade collapses, economies freeze, borders close, survival becomes local. Humanity doesn't go extinct, but civilization as we know it does. 5 seconds without oxygen would permanently divide history into before and after. We think of oxygen as invisible, passive, always there. But for 5 seconds, its absence would remind us of something uncomfortable. Our world doesn't collapse because of monsters or meteors. It collapses because of balance. And sometimes, all it takes is 5 seconds for everything to change.